before it starts? Hey, it didn't. Good. Hey guys, you should know how this works by now. I give you a little update or talk about something before the actual review starts, especially after a big gap, like what just happened. Especially when I say, oh, it's going to be up tomorrow, the night after maybe, and 2 weeks later it doesn't. Yeah. Anyway, 2 reasons why I haven't been on is, first has been my job. My job, I switched jobs right before Christmas, and we were talking over, and they said, well, 2 things are going to happen. You and this other guy are going to compete, and one of you is going to leave, while the other one's either going to stay in the department or leave to go to another department. The other guy didn't get hired, and I supposedly got the job. No, apparently Sean went behind everybody's back and hired the actual replacement, who's an actual douche, who lives with his parents, with his wife, 2 kids, and a trailer. My logic exploded when I learned that. It's like, how can this douche? And he's one of those he's a know-it-all, try to be buddy with everybody guy. And no, I'm not talking about the good kind. I'm talking about the bad kind. Anyway, that happened. I got fired. I was labeled as holiday help, so it's not technically fired. I was laid off. And the second reason why I've been gone is, well, job hunting, and, well, third reason, video games. I've been job hunting most of the time, trying to get a new job, and, well, Christmas haul. I gotta tell you my Christmas haul really quickly. Let's get the movies out of the way. I only got 2 movies this year, which is very odd. But I got the collector's edition of Avatar, which I watched with my dear one, and we both agreed this thing was just a tad too long for what it was. 'Cause we were cuddling and watching it, and then we were watching the new extended version, the one that has 16 minutes. I won't spoil what those additional minutes are, but it actually pertains to additional plot points. We were sitting there, we were cuddling, we were in a great position, and all of a sudden, great position holding each other, and then all of a sudden it says, please insert disc 2, and I'm like, you son of a bitch! Anyway, there's, oh shit. There's that, one of my favorite movies of all time, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original. Now, I know most people, when it comes to this, it's like, oh, I like the original better, or I like the remastered edition. I'm kind of a bit of both, because I never really liked how this ended. Even when I was a kid, I never really liked how this ended. So when the new one came out and actually went a bit further past it, I liked it. Each one has its own special taste. They both cover points that the other one doesn't. So, they're expansions on their own. And then, of course, the video games. I got 5 video games for Christmas. Now, to some people, that could be good news. They could be, oh, those must be just action games. I can breeze through those in probably 8 hours a day. I got 5 long video games. I got Borderlands Game of the Year Edition with all the expansions, so everybody who's played this game instantly knows how long this game can be. Especially when you're playing it by yourself and you don't know jack shit. I'm trying to find a place. I'll just put it back down here. Batman Arkham Asylum Game of the Year Edition. It can be long if you want to be a completionist. It can be long. I spent 2 weeks playing it, mostly because I'm so used to Halo. I'm so used to being all gung ho and just running into a place going ah. So it's getting. I'm now learning the different fight styles of certain games. So it takes me a day or 2 to get used to those. Call of Duty Black Ops. I would not have bought it by myself. I am not a Call of Duty fan, especially when it takes place before 1995, because it has a lot of post World War II weapons in it that I don't like. Fallout New Vegas. And no, I don't got the expansion pack for that one either. I haven't even touched this one yet. This one and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood are ones I haven't touched yet, and I've had them since Christmas. And of course, my video game gift for me that I had paid off since late December was Dead Space 2 Collector's Edition. And no, as you can tell by my hand, the gun is included, which means the gun is really small. I did record it earlier, but the mic didn't work, so I don't want to take it out again. I might get a replica gun because I really got into these games. If they made a third, I'm already looking up to get the other games, Extraction. I already have Ignition, and I'm looking to get the movies. I am getting that dwelled into the franchise for Dead Space. Anywho, that's me. Oh yeah, and this guy. I'm just going to give you guys a peek. My friend from the UK not my friend from the UK. You probably heard it. Was going to get this for me, but my roommate beat him to the punch, and it's Leader Starscream. I'll give you a full review on that later. But anyway, let's get to the review you guys tuned in to see. And here we have Drift, the Mary Sue of Transformers. Some fans are calling him that some fans are calling him. Up until this figure release, I had no idea what the term Mary Sue meant. It means in fan fiction terms a fictional character with over-idealized and hackneyed mannerisms. At least that's what it says. Lacking noteworthy flaws and primary functioning as a Welsh fulfillment fantasy for the author or reader. Pretty much means an over-stereotyped person that has, of course, he's the one warrior that turned bad, then turned good, and that was good, then turned bad, then turned good again because he saw what he was doing wrong, and yada yada yada. I don't usually read Transformer comics, but I did read a couple with Drift in it, and I liked them. I really did. I don't care what anybody else says about that. And from what I've heard, the Spotlight Drift comic was pretty good. As for the car mode, it's a car mode. Of course, you can see some robot bits. I mean, you can see his thighs, his fists, and his waist, and of course his big-ass sword, which was really neat in the comics. The sword they actually said the sword. The reason why he doesn't use it that much in the comics is because this sword takes spark energy to deal a lot of damage to the opponent. So which means it's like a lasting type of bit. Well, the car mode is pretty good, as you can tell. It rolls. Shocking for a car mode. And from what I looked up, the kanji on here on the side means, of course, samurai, for his samurai motif. Well, I mean, again, it's a car mode. It's posable. I can put it on a turntable, then it'll do this. I like the colors. Yeah, I like I mean, what else can I say about it? It's a car mode. Most people go, oh, it's so awesome, but most people these days are like, okay, it's a car, now let's transform it. But now to the point, this guy's been out for about 8 months now, since the summer, yeah. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to yoink. Oh, come on, get to the stop button. And here we have his, yeah, robot mode. And, oh my god, what happened to his head? But we all know what happened to his head if you watch the videos. I'll probably post a thing of where his head is, like right around here. But other than that, his posability well, first of all, let's get stuff out of the way. There's a lot of sculpted details on here, like especially, let me get this gleaming thing. His chest. His chest is a great homage to his Cybertronian mode before he got in Earth mode. Now, in the Earth, as you can tell, this is the Hasbro version, because the Takara version, all of this is painted. There's another reason why Takara stuff is a lot more expensive, and that's because, well, there's a lot more paint apps and a lot more sculpted detail is painted. Let's see, let's close that back up. Click. Good Autobus symbols here on the shoulder pads. Now, one thing, I have blur. the repaint of this guy. Now, one thing I do different than between him and Blur is that if you turn him sideways, you see how this stuff kind of swoops backwards, kind of like samurai armor. On Drift, I like to put the stuff down. Now, of course, on him you got the sword's handle blades sticking out of the way, but on Blur, there's nothing getting in the way because all the gun handles are flush. And of course, the sword, I forgot to do this in transformation, but there's this little hinge. I actually discovered this later. It's actually a little double hinge there, so the sword can actually like lean. Oh crap! I just reset it back in. So it can like lean back a little, so these don't get in the way. Which on the Blur figure, these don't exist. The spoiler, they took that off. Yeah, but the posability on it is great. But of course, with most people, the one complaint is he has no waist. The waist is kind of given up for this, which I really don't like. Of course, he can hold the swords, and let's get this thing out. And of course, the one kick-ass thing is that he can hold this sword double-handed. Now, if I can just get this. Boom! And that is one thing. These do not get in the way at all. They're positioned at that right point where they don't get in the way. And if they do try to get in the way, they automatically get pushed out of the way. So these are not a hindrance at all. Let's try to get this guy in a good pose. Ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, knee. Of course, the one big complaint is the big ass boat. It's great for keeping him balanced. I have to admit that. But for posability, no. Of course, in Transformers these days, you have to sacrifice one thing to get another. One of these for America. Now, see if he had a decent head, I'll be able to turn it. There we go. And boom, decent action pose. Let's get at least from my angle. Boom, decent action pose. Now, as you can tell, the arms have double hinge elbows, a bicep swivel, and can move at 2 different points on the shoulders, and have a completely ball jointed shoulder right here. Let's see if I can. Now, the neat thing is about him, like his, I guess you can say, cousin Springer does, is that he can actually, if I can do this correctly, I did it once before. Boom! See, there you go. He can actually sheath his big-ass sword. And of course, since I'm filming, it doesn't want to do it. There we go. With no edits. And it's made out of a soft rubber. Now, when most people pull out of the package, they were like, oh my god, because the sword was kind of bent. That wasn't really a problem, because, as you can tell, I gotta get this more to your point of view, don't I? As you can tell, it retains its shape pretty well. As for, let me zoom in. Come on, hit the button. There we go. Just zoom in just once. And of course, you're gonna go this way, mister. And of course, he can do the same thing with his. Oh, come on. You did it for the rehearsal. Damn it. Of course, he can do the same thing with his. Boom. His mini swords. And he can do that with both of them. I really love this figure. If you have a chance to go pick him up, which at now at retail stores he's going to be kind of hard to find, especially with the new Reveal a Shield stuff coming out. He's going to be kind of hard to find unless you got like a Toys R Us who has him back stock, or which I really think they will. A Toys R Us or a Walmart that hasn't been touched by scalpers. If you can't, you're going to have to pay the aftermarket price of $15 to $20 for this guy, because he really is worth it. He's so worth it. I bought the Blur repaint. That gives you an idea. And I don't like repaints that much. But then again, they're doing a lot of retooling, so yeah. they're doing a lot of retoolings. Like they give him a different head, different gun, different. They actually remold the insides of these because the guns won't fit in these. The swords will fit in his, but the guns won't fit in these. That's because they completely redid them. I don't know if I don't want to say anything else, or because I want to get next on to my next review, or what else. I can't really say anything about his character because I haven't read that many TF comics. I started to read Last Stand of the Wreckers, but the comic book shop here was having a clearance or a massive sale on their stuff. The problem was they had issue 1, they had issue 2, and issue 5. I'm missing 3 and 4. So I'm doing a shout out out there. If anybody can get, if anybody would like to send me a copy of it, either digitally or paper-wise, I would greatly appreciate that because I really want to finish that comic, and that was like 2 months ago that happened. But yeah, great figure. Don't really know what to say. Some people say, well, I like the Autobot logo here on Blur. I was like, I like them there on his shoulders. Makes them really kind of discreet in car mode. I think it's also because I'm running out of caffeine. But anyway, that's all I can say about Drift here. I hate to say this, but please rate, subscribe, comment, whatever. Oh, and I will put a link down here, and I caved in for some contests, and I got a Twitter account. So when I upload a new video, or when I start commenting on people, you'll be able to see what I do. But that's the only reason why I got Twitter. It's mostly for my YouTube and for some contests. So if you want to follow me, go ahead. I don't have many. I only have 5 followers, and most of them are stores and crap. Anywho, this is Drift. This is me signing off, saying, you'll see me in a few.